For 100 more points, Naden, what do you think about what he had to say here?
That's an interesting one. So for the first sort of 2 months of the season when Rashford wasn't playing well, he wasn't saying that he was out of form. But now he is out of form and he's going to have to fight his way back into the team. But how do you sort of like, in my mind, unless Stevie tells me otherwise, how do you win your place back in the team when you're out of it? When you're seeing that someone else is playing well in that position? I don't quite understand that angle, to be honest, because if you were to pull Rashford out, then maybe you could have pulled him out maybe a month ago, 6 weeks ago. Maybe as well you could say he can't play every game, fine. But he also didn't play in Istanbul because he was suspended. So he's probably more rested than some of the other players within the team. So I don't quite understand that angle in terms of pulling him out now. Is this going to be a good thing for Rashford? I don't know, because he seems to me like one of those players where they're probably just better to be out on the field because maybe they'll find something. But on the sidelines, you can't find anything because you're helpless. If the team's doing really well and you're not there, how much control do you have? How much fight do you have? And I think for Ten Hag, in my opinion, I don't think it's simply just a case of training well, because he knows who he wants to play and how he wants him to play. So I don't know when Rashford gets back in, especially if Garnacho is the guy on that left side, because as we've seen in recent weeks, Rashford isn't as effective on the right.
Again, more nonsense from the manager. I mean, Nedum's right. You can't. How do you play your way back in? You can't. The only way you get back in is if the one or the two in front of you are poor. That's the only way you get back in. You can score every day in training and do your finishing drills and be brilliant. That doesn't get you back in the team. You're out of the team. And the only way you get back in is if somebody's suspended, injured, or just not very good. And that's what's got to happen for him to get back in the team.
OK.
Nothing else.
So why do you think there's been the change, though, in what he said? That, like what Naden was saying, that he's...
Well, because he had no choice. He's been so bad, his attitude's been so bad, he's had no choice. And now he's trying to go about it in a nice fashion. You know, just say how it is. It's time to give him a little break. Let him think about it. Let's try and get his confidence back. And while we're doing that, then somebody else can have an opportunity.
How does he get his confidence back then?
Doing a lot of quick runs on the sidelines. I mean, this whole idea of finding confidence, you don't find it in the sidelines. In fact, if you know you haven't been playing well, and now other players are getting picked ahead of you, I mean, look, if you're human, you know full well that confidence is not just going to come out of thin air. It's not just going to be manufactured by you doing stretches on the sideline or training well. All that stuff is fine and well, but in the end, you have to be on the field. And how do you get your confidence back? Well, you are on the field. You complete a pass. You complete another pass. You create a chance. You put a chance away. You run into a goal. And those things just kind of build upon each other. But in order to do that, key factor, just a small detail. You got to be out on the field. You can't be sitting down, because sitting down, you don't gain any confidence. In fact, you continue to lose it. And guess what happens with players when they get on the bench? It's easier to get comfortable with the bench than it is to regain the confidence that is necessary for you to be out there again.
So how should the manager have managed this situation, given the player who it is as well, Stevie, the fact that it is a Manchester United through-and-through player like Marcus Rashford?
Well, to be honest with you, I think I probably used the wrong word in confidence. It should have been attitude. And so, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And Ten Hag's done the right thing. And hopefully, because unfortunately for him, he's not just got one problem in Rashford not performing. OK, as great as they supposedly were against Chelsea, it's one game, and there's too many players searching for consistency and playing at a high level.